Welcome back to Unleash Success. This is your host, Corey Corpodian. We are on episode 5 of the bonus mini-series, 5 Habits of Success. And today's a big one, guys. It is absolutely huge because it dictates what habit you do when you fail. You know, what happens when you hit an obstacle? What happens when you hit a challenge? What happens when you hit a roadblock on your path of success? Now, I believe that in order to create a habit of looking at failure differently, we have to change our questions. We've got to start to ask ourselves better, more empowering questions. You know, when you see a problem, do you ask yourself, how can I figure out a solution? Or do you just complain? Do you look to see the opportunity in any challenge? Do you look to see what you can learn from any problem? Do you look to see what failure teaches you as a lesson? See, I believe that if you ask yourself better questions, every single obstacle, every single challenge is just an opportunity for you to grow, to become better, to become who you are meant to be. And to me, that means you are going to be more successful. If you can handle these challenges that life throws at you and handle them in an awesome, happy, empowering way, life becomes not only better, but more successful. So, what do we do specifically is ask ourselves better questions. When you fail, when shit hits the fan, what do you do? What do you say to yourself? Say, why does this always happen to me? Why am I such a loser? Why am I so stupid? Why do I always fuck up? Those are not good questions, guys. And sadly, I've been guilty of it too. Why can't I ever fucking get anything right? I used to say that to myself all the time. Why is life so messed up? I was angry. I was confused. But these questions gave me really poor answers. I sat there and I answered those questions in my head. Why does this always happen to me? Because you're not really that good, Corey. You're not that good at what you think you're doing. Or nobody gives a shit what you're talking about. Or, you know what you think's important, nobody else really cares. And man, that really sucked, because if I had listened to that inner voice, none of the impact that I've made over the last 2 years would have ever happened. The people who message me and say thank you for doing the podcast, the people who come up to me after I do motivational speaking to thank me for whatever insight they learned from me that day, I never would have had that impact. And so I stopped listening to that voice, and I said, you know what? That voice is wrong. Sure, maybe if I listen to it again and again and again, I might prove it right. But what if I asked a different question? What if I asked, hey, there's this roadblock here. How can I get around it? What else can I do to make myself better? You know, there's this big challenge here, and I'm not prepared for it. Well, how can I make myself better so that I am prepared for it? What can I do? How can I work more or harder or learn something so that I am better prepared to become successful? I failed. Oh my God. What can I learn from this failure? What can I not do next time so I'm more successful? I started asking myself better questions. Questions that were open-ended. Questions that allowed me to answer with something that said, hey, if there's a will, there's a way. And guess what, baby? When I want to do something, I commit to it. I want it so bad. I've got so much willpower. But if I ask myself disempowering questions, I screwed myself before I even got out the gate. So by asking myself better questions, you know, it's like the famous question where people always say, you know, oh, wow, look at that fancy car. Look at that Mercedes. Look at that Ferrari. Man, I wish I could afford that. What? What do you mean you wish you could afford that? That's already presupposing that you can't afford it. Instead of saying, why can't I afford something? Say, what can I do to earn more money to afford that? Or how can I find a way to earn more money to afford that? If it's something you really want. Ask yourself empowering questions each and every single moment of the day, and watch how you find solutions. Watch how your mind answers with solutions to the problems instead of just complaining. I believe that the mindset, the questions that we ask ourselves on a daily basis really have a powerful impact on our level of success. They have a powerful impact on the direction we take, on the amount of action we take. So watch your questions to yourself. Watch your thoughts. Make sure that if you say a disempowering question, you quickly correct yourself to something that allows you to answer with an empowering answer. Don't put any limits on yourself. There's all these people out there putting limits on each other all the time, putting their own limits on us. Don't limit yourself. Don't let anybody ever limit you. So get in the habit of asking yourself better questions. How can I find a way to make this happen? What can I do to make this happen today? What can I learn so that I'm better prepared? What can I do so that I am worthy of that promotion? What can I do? Who can I become so that I am worthy of that man or woman? These are empowering questions. And this is the fifth and final habit of success for our bonus mini-series, guys. If you enjoyed it, please send me a message on Facebook or Instagram at Corey Corpodian. Links will be in the show notes, or visit our website, unleashsuccess.com. And don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. Next week, we'll be back to interviewing some awesome entrepreneurs and people who have unleashed success in different areas of their life. And remember, the habits that we create on a daily basis start to define who we are, define our character, and who we will become in the future. So make sure you choose your habits wisely.